In a moment, my journey along America's west coast takes me to Silicon Valley. But the cutting edge here is no longer computers, but green energy. Could this be the engine of American renewal? I'm on the freeway, driving up the west coast of the United States, searching for the seeds of change ahead of America's presidential election. Heading north between Los Angeles and San Francisco. The Bixby Creek Bridge is one of the engineering marvels of America, built in the 1930s in order to create jobs during the Great Depression. When the world economy starts to pick up again, will America's historic ingenuity still be enough to sustain it as the world's greatest economic power? Absolutely sensational. I mean, I'm not a sports car freak, but this was magnificent. I mean, from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, whoosh! And it's no gear changes, you hear nothing, and I've spent no juice. I mean, that's what's incredible. The battery level's still the same as when I set off. It's the Tesla Roadster, a revolutionary battery car developed, built in Silicon Valley. It's part of a huge push by US business to dominate the vast new field of green technology. Zach, we might as well cut to the chase. The absolute core of what you're doing is battery.
Yeah, batteries are very, very important. The battery is right here that we use for this car. It contains 6,831 lithium-ion cells, and that battery allows us to drive 244 miles on a single charge.
And how you've managed to make the battery, and indeed how you make it, is highly protected.
It is, yeah. We have quite a few patents pending on that battery because this is something we've done that no one else has been able to do. So for now, it'll remain a big black box. America's world-beating economy was launched on names like Ford, Chrysler. Now Tesla is hoping it will be the big name in the new economy. The mission is really to be the great car company of the 21st century and to produce cars like BMW or Toyota and have a full model lineup.
On that scale?
Absolutely, yeah. Long term, that is the goal.
And not one of them with a combustion element?
Not a single combustion element in the car. We're now working on our second product, which is the saloon car. That'll be late 2010 production. And that's going to be a really big launch for us as a company. That's when we start to get into cars that are more practical and more available to the mass consumer. So really continuing on that path is the goal. I've reached San Francisco, and all around I see the green shoots of new energy companies springing up. But in the middle of a financial crisis, is anyone going to invest in new ideas? I'm off to meet one of the most famous American venture capitalists. He's an Indian immigrant, a new American, and co-founder of computer giant Sun Microsystems.
America attracts the best brains from all over the world. They all want to come here.
They're looking for a green revolution. And have you found it?
There is no question in my mind that we've been living in a world without paying attention to sustainability. And some people view that as a problem. I view it as an opportunity, because every big problem is an opportunity. That's very much the Silicon Valley mindset. The bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity, and it's especially suited to America if two things are important in the solution to the problem. One is innovation, and the second is entrepreneurship.
It's a tall order to ask venture capitalists to take a gamble in an arena where there really is an enormous amount of untried technology and where there could be really much more failure than there's ever been on any project before.
I think that's where the US is fundamentally different than the rest of the world. We won't fund a project that's almost certain to succeed. We only fund the projects that have a pretty high probability of failure. My philosophy is the willingness to fail gives me the freedom to succeed.
I'm on the road again, using old-fashioned oil, I'm afraid. But you know, the quest to wean the US off dependence on foreign oil is a massive election issue. But green energy also offers America the chance to invest in new technologies that the rest of the world will be happy to buy and depend upon. One of the companies Vinod Khosla is investing in is playing with something California's got a great deal of: sun.
We've just togged up in the necessary protective clothing to get into the, well, this is where all the R&D is going on, the big lab here. What are we going to look at?
At the Stion Corporation, 40 engineers and scientists are toiling to develop new, highly efficient solar panels. They're working in secret, racing other startup companies with just the same goal. And the Stion Corporation's mantra is the American one: think big.
See, a lot of people are going to say, well, we kind of know the potential of solar power and it's not going to save the world.
If you really look at the sun and how much sunlight hits the Earth, it's about 1,000 watts per square meter. So for every 10 square feet, you get about 1,000 watts of power. It's the equivalent to 10 light bulbs. So if you look at the surface of the globe, let's take just the United States as an example, and you looked at the 1,000 gigawatts of production capacity that's online in traditional generation. If you wanted to replace all of it, if you took 10,000 kilometers square, which if you looked at a map as an example, would look like a postage stamp in Arizona, you could literally power the entire United States.
A continent away from the crisis on Wall Street, West Coast Americans are quietly getting on with developing the ideas that could yet keep the United States the most powerful economy in the world.